So welcome everyone again, and thank you for being here. I am Christy Mahan. I am from Dream Vacations. You can always find me at www.escapeartistholidays.com. This is our, I don't know, I think we're 3 months in on these wonderful We Will Travel Again events. And tonight I am once again joined by Shannon Tiger of Viking Cruises. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're doing these every week, so if you have not been on one of these calls before, you can always check out a list of what's coming up at bit.ly/we will travel again events. We've got some warm weather destinations coming up for the rest of the month. We've got Bermuda and the Caribbean for the next 2 weeks in October. And then in November, Shannon will be back again to talk about Christmas markets on river cruises in Europe, which is a very totally different experience thing. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be great. And one of the other things I'm going to be doing in November is this. I'll be hosting a roundtable discussion on the return to travel with some industry experts, somebody who's going to represent what resorts look like, ocean cruises look like, and tours look like as vacations start to happen again. And I think that'll be really informative for everyone. So you can always learn more and register at my link there. And of course, check out the link to our past recordings. So now I'm going to pass the ball over to Shannon so she can get her screen shared. And tonight what we're really talking about is Viking is now in the US. This is very exciting. They are going to be launching ships on the Mississippi River and on the Great Lakes. And so we're going to be hearing about this very new product for Viking in the United States. It has been long in coming. We've been wishing and waiting for this for a very long time, and now it's becoming a reality. So it's very exciting. I hope that you guys are buckled in and ready to get your tour on tonight. So thank you, Shannon, so much for being here.
Welcome. You're welcome. Well, thank you for having me. And like you had said, I think this is our third presentation together. We've done Europe before. I think we did, I want to say France, Lyon, and the Provence region. We did tulips and windmills, maybe, or Holland and Belgium. And now we're going to be doing Mississippi and the Great Lakes. And this is really great because, you know, it's so important, as you said, Christy, to keep our wanderlust alive while we are in this holding pattern for travel. And it is coming back. And one thing that I can tell you with Viking, and this isn't a scare technique, this is definitely the truth, that we are really selling quickly for 2021 and then here for Mississippi 2022. We're almost sold out. So if you're seeing something that you like, I definitely want you to make sure you contact Christy. It's so important. That's the biggest takeaway of the night, or else there won't be space for Mississippi. Now, Great Lakes, which is on our expedition, our new expedition vessels coming in 2022. Yep, so both of these are coming in 2022. Those itineraries on the Great Lakes, we do have some availability for those itineraries. So I don't want to say we have too much more time on those, but they're not as in such high demand as Mississippi. I think everybody has been waiting a very long time for Mississippi to happen on Viking, and we're seeing a lot of those folks that held future cruise vouchers. We're seeing them use those future cruise vouchers for these closer to home itineraries. So that's why tonight's a really important night for all of you and for us to be discussing this, because it is definitely a trend that we're seeing, and we're really happy to be able to finally offer products. So before I start taking you down the Mississippi River, we're going to go from the upper Mississippi all the way down the lower Mississippi River together. And then I'm going to show you our beautiful ship on the Mississippi, which is the Viking Mississippi. She's already cut steel. Apparently we're going to be seeing some beautiful real live photos of a stateroom, a mock stateroom that they're doing. So I'm going to be seeing that. So this is a very real thing that this is happening. And then we also already are building our expedition ship. The first one's the Octantis, that's going to be in Antarctica. And that ship is going to be repositioning to the Great Lakes. Folks, when you see this beauty, you are going, I'm going to knock your socks off tonight. I promise you that. But before I do so, I always like to just quickly describe the Viking experience. Christy knows in her profession, her value that she really truly brings to all of you is pairing you with the right travel experience. And it's not an easy thing to do. You have to know all these different products out there, and you have to know the destinations. But most of the time, our guests and you all probably online know where you want to go. You've got that bucket list made, but knowing how you're traveling to the destinations is so important. So Christy can help you along with that, and she'll let you know that Viking is not everything to everyone. We do not have children on board. We do not have water slides, go-karts, roller coasters. We do not have bowling alleys, ice skating rings. We do not allow children. You have to be of the age of 18 or higher to join us on any Viking cruise. The second thing that I always like to talk about is who is on board. Our guests are all North American. So whether you're in Europe or you're on the Mississippi, in the Great Lakes, in Antarctica, in Vietnam, you will be traveling with North Americans, and all of our announcements are English. We own and operate in almost every port that we're in and destination, which is really important to you because that means that consistency of service is always going to be passed along while you're on board, but even while you're on shore. And we're often, Torstein Hagen, our founder and CEO, often refers to Viking as the thinking person's cruise. If you want to know a little bit more about the true philosophy of Viking, Forbes magazine did an interview with Torstein Hagen, Viking Cruises. Look it up on your phones. It is so dynamic. It's so interesting. So encourage you to read about that interview, and you'll really know who we are. We also very much include a very inclusive product, including one shore excursion for every port of call. We'll talk about what else is included in your fare tonight. And I truly have to say, being the fact that we are incredibly efficient in terms of owning and operating, we are able to pass a lot of savings back to you. So Christy can tell you that not only is your fare really not all inclusive, but pretty inclusive, you also have a really great price point, and we're very competitive, and that's because of the fact that we do own and operate. Even our crew on board are Viking employees. We don't have a hotel management company that comes on board, and all of our staff is Swiss trained, so really incredible service. So I love this slide, really defining what we're not, and it really is great for you to take a keen listening here to what we're not. We don't have casinos, no children under the age of 18. We don't have umbrella drinks, meaning you're not going to have a lot of that fluffy kind of stuff, party kind of scene on board Viking. You'll have a very nice, elegant experience. It's comfortable luxury. Country club casual is the dress on board. We don't have butlers. We don't have formal nights. And we don't charge for a lot of things. We don't charge for Wi-Fi. On our ocean vessels where we have alternative dining, and on our expedition ships in the Great Lakes, we have alternative dining, but we don't charge for it. So you know you're getting a really nice inclusive product. For me, folks, the thing that stands out the most to me, and I got to be honest, it's really important in the Mississippi, is the one shore excursion for every port of call, not just the Mississippi, all of our itineraries. And I love that. And I want you to know why Shannon Tiger loves that, because they are not hop on, hop off bus tours. Oh, we'll drop you off in the city and you can explore on your own and we'll tell you where to go. These are fully guided by a local tour guide. So you can be assured that you are going to see these destinations. You're going to see all of the iconic spots, right? But in addition to that, you're going to get really up close and personal to these destinations. That is our job. All of the folks on board Viking who you'll be traveling with, they want to travel for history, art, culture, music, cultural immersion, enrichment. We have an amazing onboard enrichment program. And so we make sure that we curate these really beautiful onshore experiences. And those local tour guides, I think they're the best in the industry. They always weave in a personal story about their upbringing there. And I think it just really adds a nice personal touch. Christy will present a fare to you. That fare also includes the government port taxes and charges and all that. So we're going to talk about some really fun things and destinations tonight. Mississippi Okay. A lot of folks in our country and in this beautiful United States of America think the Mississippi River is the longest river. It's not. The Missouri River is the longest river, but like honestly, I think it's by like 20 miles. The Mississippi River is, I want to say 2,350 miles. So maybe it's a little bit more. And I want to say the Missouri River is a little over 2,400. Don't quote me on those facts, but they're very close. I'm very close. And so we have this beautiful, fabulous, lovely river that we're going to talk about tonight. It actually is a 10-state river system, and we actually go to over 15 ports. So there's 15 different ports on all of these itineraries, if you combine them all, that you can see. And we have 8 and 15-day itineraries. So what you're looking at here right now, folks, is we have a 15-day itinerary. This one is selling out like hotcakes. There's no more space in 2022. We do have 2023 open. If you want to do the upper and the lower Mississippi at the same time, which apparently many people do, I think there's about 4 or 5 sailings in 2023. It is a great way to just get it all done, and you're not going to want to get off the ship. Wait till you see her. So we have America's Great River, 15-day itinerary. We're going to go through that itinerary together tonight. I'm going to go through port by port. We also have our New Orleans and Southern Charms itinerary, Heart of the Delta itinerary, and that itinerary is up on the lower Mississippi. And then we also have our Mississippi holiday season itinerary, which we just introduced in just the month of December. So it's really quite fascinating. Oh, and America's Heartland, which is our only itinerary that we do in the upper Mississippi. So today, what we're going to do is talk about, like I said, that 15-day America's Great River itinerary. But I did want to show you this New Orleans holiday season. It's New Orleans to Memphis. It's a great way to travel in the lower Mississippi. We do have a round trip New Orleans, but I like that inclusion of Memphis, so do others. So you'll see these itineraries, very much popular, but it's so beautiful. All that Southern charm decked out for the holidays. It's really not to be missed. And if you want to do something in December, it's a great time to go on the lower Mississippi. We hit Baton Rouge, Natchez, Vicksburg. We're going to talk about all these ports today, and Memphis and New Orleans. We also, oh, look at that. That's Graceland. So that's obviously in Memphis, Tennessee, but look at it all decked out for Christmas. It's so fun. Okay, then we have Heart of the Delta, which is New Orleans to Memphis. So this is our typical itinerary, 8 days. 5 guided tours, 3 states. That's New Orleans, Darrow, Baton Rouge, St. Francisville, Vicksburg. We have a full scenic day of river cruising, which I love because, again, you're not going to want to get off the ship. And we have that ending in Memphis. Really, really popular itinerary, folks. Heart of the Delta, lower Mississippi. We have our America's Heartland. So if you've always wanted to do the upper Mississippi, you would do that in the summer months. No one wants to go to Minnesota in the winter, right? And that's St. Louis to St. Paul. We'll go to Hannibal, Burlington, the Quad Cities, Dubuque, La Crosse, Red Wing. We're going to talk about all those ports coming up in 1 second. So these are basically your options. You have the 3 8-day itineraries that run, and again, seasonality based on, the ship being in the north during the summer season, and then in the south in the winter season. And let's just quickly take a look at and then we have the New Orleans round trip. So what I like about this one, Christy, as well, is if you have folks that have already been to Memphis, they've already done Graceland, they've already done the whole blues scene. This is nice because you've got the overnight in New Orleans on the front end, and you end up in New Orleans on the back end. What I like about this is for folks that want that lower Mississippi, but really want to spend that extra time in New Orleans, you can tack on a 1, 2, or 3 night post extension or pre-extension with Viking. So as I had said, America's Great River, the lower and the upper Mississippi River, that is what we're going to do today. 15 days, 11 guided tours. You're going to go all the way down what they call a very serpentine-like river. And we are going to travel together today from St. Paul all the way down to New Orleans. It is such a fun trip. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to take myself off camera. I want you to pay attention to all of these beautiful ports of call. And I wanted to also highlight some really neat optional excursions for you as well. Now, let's just do it. Let's start. Day one, St. Paul, Minnesota. This is a really, really amazing city, awesome Twin Cities. That's what you probably know St. Paul, Minnesota for. It is a city that is made up of so many different neighborhoods. So you would want to probably spend some extra time here if you can, maybe add a night on, or at least have the opportunity to go to some of these great neighborhoods. There's also a really nice acclaimed art scene here. And of course, those beautiful Midwesterners that have those amazing Midwestern manners. So I would definitely highly recommend a little extra time there in the Twin Cities. We have a fun pre-extension there if you're interested. Now, on day two, we head to Red Wing. So Red Wing actually is known for its American-made Red Wing tipped shoes. They were shoes that were produced footwear for the soldiers in both wars. So that's actually where that name Red Wing shoes comes from. And it is absolutely a really great opportunity for you to experience what I like to say mid-America, right? A lot of these cities that we're going to go through really started thriving during the steamboat era. And so you'll see, you know, what maybe wasn't a big booming city have turned into a booming city, especially during the railroads and the steamboat era. We're going to take you on a really great downtown tour of Red Wing. This is included. And you'll also be able to go to the Eagle Center here in Red Wing. So if you like that, that's why you see an eagle here on the screen, because that is part of the included tour. We also have something that I'm totally into, which is an afternoon on Lake Pepin. This is where you'll be able to actually go on a true paddle wheeler. The Viking, Mississippi is not a paddle wheeler, so this is important for you to experience that. And then also we'll have wine tasting among the bluffs. So I'd like for you to think about that as an optional tour, being able to go and do the paddle wheeler experience. Next up, we head to La Crosse, Wisconsin, and this actually is known for its numerous sites on the National Register of Historic Places. So we'll, of course, include a panoramic city tour as well here. And I have to say, there's a lot of beautiful architectural landmarks here. But one of the things that's really neat about La Crosse is it's kind of like an open air museum. There is a beautiful riverfront, and it's lined with really, really cool statues, and it really truly feels like an open air museum. So we'll do a wonderful included tour here. We do have some other options here for any of you that are active. We do a fishing adventure here on La Crosse. We do a kayaking adventure. We have a bike adventure in La Crosse for you to experience this really cool city along the Mississippi. And we also have a Norwegian immigrant experience as well, which is a private exclusive, what we call privileged access tour, where it's a really small group and you actually get to go behind the scenes of this museum. As you know, our founder is Norwegian, so he is very, very proud of that museum. Then we head out to Dubuque, Iowa. So Dubuque is a really charming city, again, really where you're going to capture the life and the flavor of the Mississippi during the steamboat era. This is a true city where it is known as the masterpiece on the Mississippi. So we have the Matthias Ham House, which was built by one of Dubuque's earliest entrepreneurs. And it really, really exemplifies that Victorian opulent lifestyle that started to come into these booming river cities before the Civil War. So we'll do a great tour of historic Dubuque, and we will also take you to the Mississippi River Museum. Now, if you'd like, we have also a Frank Lloyd Wright experience here if you want to take part of that and go see one of his homes, his residences. So some people are really into Frank Lloyd Wright, so that's an option there. We now head to Quad Cities. We are, of course, still on the upper Mississippi. Here we are going to learn about John Deere. You'll know anything and everything you want about American farming and how John Deere changed American farming. So we'll take you to the John Deere Pavilion. You'll see all the John Deere homes. There's also a botanical center, optional tour if you want to do that. We also have an Iowa farm visit tour where you actually see how things are harvested on the farm. And of course, John Deere is incorporated in that. We have a Rock Island Arsenal tour. So if you're into guns, we have an optional tour there. So like I said, we have the one included tour, but then we have many, many other optional tours. Now on day 6, again, still up here on the upper Mississippi, we go to Burlington, and it really is home to so many historic buildings. It's quite a neat city, again, where you really feel like you are taking a step back in time during the steamboat era. But one thing that's really neat is it's also home to the world, yes, I said world's crookedest street. So we will take you through a drive through the small town America, feeling of Burlington. You'll see some museums, really be able to take a cool stroll around the crookedest street in the world, and that's a lot of fun. We also have an old Fort Madison tour where you'll actually take a step back in time and go to the oldest military garrison. So if any of you are really into that, we have that in Burlington. We have a Flavors of the Midwest tour. We have another farm visit that are optional tours, art around Burlington, which is really fun. We even have a pottery making experience as well that you can take part of. So there's a lot to do here in Burlington, Iowa. On day 7, we head to Hannibal, Missouri. So much fun, folks. This is the birthplace of Mark Twain. So you're literally going to be walking in the footsteps of Tom Sawyer and the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. You'll see where Mark Twain was born. It's called the World of Mark Twain Tour. This is what you have to do here in Hannibal, and that's the only thing you'll be doing in Hannibal. Then on day 8, we land in St. Louis, Missouri. So if you were going to be just doing the upper Mississippi tour, this is what you would have experienced. And you would have that front or back end in St. Louis or St. Paul. In St. Louis, which is kind of fun, you know, of course, we all know this city is famed for its arch, right? So you'll be able to take a picture by the Gateway to the West Arch. And you'll also be able to go to, there's a beautiful cathedral here. It's got 41 million pieces of mosaic, like a mosaic design. 41 million pieces, and it's a really cool city. There's also a fun optional tour if you want to head out to the Anheuser-Busch Museum. You could do that as well here. There's a National Blues Museum. The Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Sorry, I think I may have said museum there, but you can head out to the brewery, which is really quite a fun experience. But of course, you would want to, in the morning, get that panoramic city tour included, so you see all these iconic sites of St. Louis, and then do those optional tours, like I said, the brewery or perhaps the museum. Great city. If you're stopping here, I encourage you to also spend some extra time in that area. Now, we do have a day of scenic river cruising, and I have to tell you again, this is like a serpentine. So you're going to be twisting and turning. You'll see all different types of landscapes. So there's green forests, there's less vegetation, there's all like the patchwork of farmland. So it's really kind of neat. And there's a ton of bird life. So if you're into bird watching or wildlife, some really great scenic river cruising here. It always is hugging the shoreline, so you really get some great sights. And on day 10, we land in Memphis, Tennessee. How exciting. What do you think you're going to be doing here, folks? Graceland. We have a deluxe Graceland tour, which is really cool. The home of Elvis Presley, my husband's favorite. I had an Elvis Presley impersonator come to our home for his 40th birthday. It was so much fun. But anyhow, we're going to go to the legendary Graceland. It's an included tour, fully guided. It's really a real fun, neat experience. But you can also have time down in Memphis, Tennessee, which is really, of course, a lot of fun. Now, in addition, if you're into like blues, and this is really the home of like blues, soul, and rock and roll. And so there's a great blues, soul, and rock and roll tour that you can do as an optional tour as well while you're here in Memphis. So you're certainly going to want to spend some extra time here while you're in Memphis. A great place to even just hang out in a blues bar and take in a nice cold vodka on the rocks and enjoy some great music. On day 11, we do some scenic river cruising. On day 12, we head to Vicksburg, Mississippi. Vicksburg is, you'll probably you've learned it in the textbooks. This is really a very important point in the Civil War. It's called Battle of the Vicksburg, and it's probably one of the most pivotal battles. This is where the Confederates surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant. So it's Abraham Lincoln called this the key to the South. This city, you will actually go to the Vicksburg National Military Park. You'll be able to walk on the fields. You'll be able to commemorate the battle that really turned the Civil War. You can go on the USS Cairo, which is an ironclad gunboat that prowled the river. So that's pretty much what you're going to do here while you're in Vicksburg. There's a nice little town where you can do a walking tour. There's an extended tour if you're really into history, where it's called Vicksburg Behind the Scenes. It's an optional tour, but if you are a history lover and you want that behind the scenes tour of Vicksburg and the battlefield, I would highly recommend that. We, on day 13, go to Natchez, Mississippi. It is, again, that small America town. Over 500 different historic buildings and these beautiful homes, preserved homes, antebellum homes, that really grace these broad avenues. And we'll have a Best of Natchez tour here where you can go in and see some of these homes. We also have the Best of Natchez historic homes and chef-hosted lunch, where you can have a chef-hosted lunch at the restaurant 1818 and enjoy some classic Southern cocktails and cuisine. Highly recommend that if you're looking for an optional tour in Natchez, but it is just a charming small town America feel, so you'll really enjoy that. It's really nice to actually see this part of our country and be able to travel all the way down from the top to the bottom, and there's just so much different cultural and immigration that happen along this river, and so it really is a true American cultural immersion, as I like to think of it. In Baton Rouge, you will really learn everything about the fun-loving Cajun people. We have a great Baton Rouge panoramic tour, but we also have a behind-the-scenes privileged access tour. It's a Cajun heritage tour where you'll go and you'll learn all about the folk tales, there's a really great museum that we're going to take you to. You're going to experience some authentic Cajun cuisine, really a real fun day. So if you want to really, again, go behind the scenes and have a different experience than most when they go to Baton Rouge, I highly encourage that. We also have a lot of things on the bayou. If you'd like, you could do that as well while you're in Baton Rouge, if you're into that sort of thing. Someone once asked my boss if they can bring a gun on board the Viking, Mississippi. Yes, true story. No, you cannot bring a gun. We have an optional tour of the USS Kidd as well there in Baton Rouge, and we have a lot of a lot of canoe and boat tours as well that you can do. And then last but not least, we end in New Orleans. And I have to say, we have some really great New Orleans tours. And pre and post extensions. We have 1, 2, and 3 night extensions. The more nights you tack on, the more insight and cultural immersion you'll get through Viking, where we include different tours, a cooking experience. So ask Christy all about that and find find out which one you think really would work. But if you're going to be doing the long haul in the 15 days, you might as well just tack on a couple extra nights, 2 or 3 nights, and not miss out on that gorgeous city of New Orleans. I love that city. I've been there several times and I still can't get enough of it. I would say the best is the New Orleans best music, Mardi Gras, and cuisine night. So that's a 3-night post or pre, if it's whichever way you're going. And that really does include a lot, and you'll really get that behind the scenes look of New Orleans. Now, I want to share with you the ship, and then we got to talk about the Great Lakes. So this is our beautiful 5-deck Viking Mississippi. She's under 400 passengers, folks. Everything that Viking does is considered small ship cruising. Our ocean ships are under 1,000 passengers. Our river vessels in Europe are under 200 passengers. She's under 400 passengers, a beautiful Scandinavian design. That's exactly how we cruise at Viking. That Scandinavian design, to me, the only takeaway is that you need to know there's floor-to-ceiling windows everywhere. It's always bright and airy, serene spaces, the light timbers. I think it's a wonderful way to cruise. I'm not a big fan of being on a vessel and it being all dark, right? But I love the idea of cruising because you only have to pack and unpack once. So we'll offer you open seating in our restaurant. Some often say that the Viking Mississippi will be the best of ocean and river experiences. We have this great space called the living room, which are true little areas, seating areas, very private, very intimate, very luxurious, but very comfortable. We also have our river cafe where we'll do casual dining all day long, and you can eat as well at our barbecue on our Aquavit Terrace, which is our signature outdoor dining platform that we have on all of our vessels. A really great spot to take in some terrific scenery. And then the wow factor here is the infinity plunge pool. The Explorers Lounge. This is a space that is very familiar to Viking ocean cruising, not river cruising in Europe though, on our long ships. Our long ships don't have this, but we will have it here on the Viking Mississippi. It's 2 decks, a great observation area, great place for before and after dinner drink. We have outdoor seating on the bow. I hear there's going to be some screened in seating too, which is terrific. We will have entertainment. A lot of it is going to be themed around the destination. So you can imagine we'll have a lot of blues, ragtime, a lot of historian lectures with history along the Mississippi, the steamboat era, the wars, the battles that took place. So you will learn so much. That is our big thing, is cultural enrichment. Well, we don't have our big, huge productions on any of our Viking vessels. That's not what we're all about. We're all about the lectures and beautiful entertainment, but more very destination focused and on a smaller scale. We have a French balcony stateroom on board the Viking Mississippi. These are ADA accessible. So if you are handicapped or have any walking challenges and need a wheelchair, this is perfect for you. We also have veranda and deluxe veranda staterooms. This is where most of our staterooms will be. And these categories, as you can see, all of these beautiful staterooms really are, again, very resemble, I think even nicer than some of our ocean, but absolutely nautical, gorgeous, different from our long ships. Stunning, bright spaces, Scandinavian style, not a detail missed. We have this really cool terrace suite, which is a beautiful long veranda terrace balcony. We have our Explorers Suite, 10 of these, one of them ADA accessible. Great for a special occasion or if you're traveling with a lot of folks. This is a wonderful, wonderful place to have the Explorers Suite, and you can just gather here and it's your own personal space. Nice, really intimate, really, again, terrific for special occasions. And we'll have 10 of them, whereas on our Viking long ships, we only have 2. Now, by the way, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put one through the chat feature, the Q&A feature, and we'll be able to address them. So I'm going to be moving on to Viking expeditions, and I cannot wait to share with you the beautiful Viking vessels that the 2 expedition vessels that we're going to be featuring. But what I want to do is focus on the Great Lakes today. Now, these partnerships, the scientific partnerships that we will have Viking resident scientists. I heard a number of like 25. I don't think it's necessarily 25, but 20, definitely some resident scientists from these wonderful organizations, but also so many folks that are going to be a part of our crew that are scientists. And I did, again, here, there will be about 25 on the sailings. So you will not have your shortage of really understanding these really unique regions. Now, we're going to explore Antarctica, the Arctic, but today we're going to talk about the Great Lakes. And I really just want to let you know that what's really neat is that we will continue to have that Viking experience be transferred through this experience. So the Scandinavian style you'll see, but really science is probably the most important aspect of these journeys. And really, if you're into outdoor experiences and you really are into wildlife and stuff like that, these are just amazing. Now you'll want to be able to be a little active. You'll have to fill out a form, a health form, to make sure that you're, I guess, physically fit for this, because we don't want you to feel like you didn't have a nice time. But I have to tell you that and not able to really take part in all of this, but so much is included in this fare. So Mississippi is roughly around, just let's call it $3,999 per person. The 15-day experience is, I think, roughly around $5,000 per person. These sit around 6,000, 6,500 per person, but they include so much, and all of that research and scientific knowledge, that's all included as well. And it's, of course, on this gorgeous Viking vessel. I mean, she looks so different than what we just looked at, right? Again, under 400 passengers, an incredible passenger to crew ratio here. These are polar class 6 ships, so that they can be able to sail in rough waters, through ice and so forth. And the Viking Octantis will have so many places and different areas for you to really, really enjoy the ship as well. So like the Mississippi, we don't have a spa, but here we have a spa. We have a beautiful retractable roof swimming pool. We're going to share all those details in a moment. It is an absolutely stunning, luxurious, uber luxurious experience. And imagine this ship in the Great Lakes. One of my favorite spots is the Aula. This is the theater that's on board. But what is so unique and cool about this theater is that screen you're looking at actually goes up onto the roof, and all of those white, what they kind of look like shades, or it looks like the panel walls, it actually are there is shades, and the whole room opens up. So the theater turns into this beautiful observation lounge. You can walk out the doors and go to the 2 outdoor fire pits and really take in the destination. The destination is always at the focal point with Viking, wherever you are in the world. So having those those spaces with floor to ceiling windows, we have the Explorer's Lounge here on board this vessel as well. Lots of nooks and crannies. All of our libraries on board our vessels are all stocked with reading material and information from that region, which is really kind of fun to peruse those libraries. But again, lots of little spaces for you to relax, take in the destination. This is the retractable roof swimming pool. Wait till you see this, folks. It actually, the middle pool, you can use that and swim under the glass, and you'll be outdoors. Imagine this in the Great Lakes, or even in Antarctica and the Arctic. All of those 3 pools have different water temperatures. We have our beautiful spa, which is the Nordic spa. It's all of a Norwegian spa experience. So one of them pieces to that is the snow grotto. You can even get a bucket of water dumped on your head if you'd really like, but it is absolutely a stunning spa area. We have Expedition Central here. This is where you'll learn everything about your doing, about the region, the landings. We have so much equipment on this vessel. The wow factor, are you ready? This is what's really gonna knock your socks off. You're gonna wanna go to Antarctica on this, is the ship's in-ship marina, the hangar, where it's not like you have to go outside and board your Zodiacs and your ribs or your submarines. Don't worry about it. It all happens right here in this in-ship marina. So it's a big differentiator for us and other cruise ships of this type and this class. It's like a roller coaster ride. You just board it on and then you slip right out the vessel. You'll see that technology in a minute. But we have all of these really fantastic watercraft, kayaks, 12-seater ribs. We have the Zodiacs, the 2 submersibles. You will have so many cool, unique experiences. This is that great depiction of the craft coming out of the back of the vessel. Come on, is that not amazing? It takes that worry away of like, oh, how am I going to get on that little rib? It's, really just cool. There's a lab here in the in-ship marina, which is right there. You can actually go on a lab tour and learn what the resident scientists are working on. Beautiful stateroom accommodations, very different looking from the Viking Mississippian Ocean. As you can see, very sleek, sexy Scandinavian design. All of our ships, wherever you are in the world, have heated bathroom floors and no fog mirrors. There's something else that's really cool about the Octantis and the Polaris. So wait, let's see, where is this picture? Great seating areas where you always got a beautiful view of what's going on outdoors. That's how all of the furniture is set so that you see outdoors. And of course, we have this really cool floor-to-ceiling drying closet. So all your expedition gear goes in the drying closet. Now we will include, and you can keep it, a beautiful Parker. This is a Viking expedition jacket. Included and free for use are boots, waterproof pants, Nordic walking poles. So you'll have that. And then we have a suggested amount of gear. Now I would tell you that when we go into the Great Lakes, these are our restaurants. This is a very active tour, so you want to make sure that you have the right equipment. We have an Italian restaurant. We have our restaurant, which is our open seating dining. We have a world cafe. So you'll have many different dining options. Really, again, luxurious. This is all things that we have featured on our ocean. Mamson's Deli. We have that here on Viking Expedition. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the Great Lakes. So we'll have basically 3 main itineraries that cover the Great Lakes. So we have the Canadian Discovery itinerary, which is a real popular itinerary. And it's basically what you would say like a repositioning cruise. So we go New York to Toronto. And I have to say, this is selling out. Hopefully we still have some space on it. But if you're looking for one of those New York City, Toronto experiences, you must do it on this ship, because you will go to Prince Edward Island, you'll go to Halifax, you'll have Quebec City, you'll have all these really cool ports. Now, again, I think there's one, or there'll likely 2 that will be available to you. So ask Christy about that. But the big Great Lake itineraries are the Niagara and the Great Lakes. So we'll have, the Toronto urban skylines, this is very popular because of the Toronto piece. And then we'll have all of a really great port like Point Pilet, where I believe in that port we can drop our submersible. We have Mackinac Island, we have Traverse City, and then it goes down to Milwaukee. So what I would like to say is also this one includes Niagara Falls. So it's very popular. The Toronto piece of it, the Niagara Falls piece of it really makes it very popular. And we're going to talk about some of those ports in a minute. And then we have another, well, let me show you this map really quick so you can see how we come all the way around from Toronto, Point Pilet, up through Detroit, to Mackinac Island, to Traverse City, and down to Milwaukee. Really, really, again, popular itinerary. Then we have Milwaukee to Thunder Bay. This itinerary includes Georgian Bay. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. Really, if you love the outdoors and you want to kayak and do really neat types of adventures that you're out in the wilderness hiking and kayaking. You'll have Mackinac Island, you'll have Thunder Bay, but you have 3 nights in Georgian Bay. So we're going to talk a little bit about that one, but this is basically what it looks like on the map, where you've got the Thunder Bay, Milwaukee, Mackinac Island, but you've got Parry Sound, Killarney, and Little Current, and then the ship will go through the Soo Locks out to through Lake Superior to Thunder Bay. Really neat itinerary. We're going to go again a little bit more into those ports. Then we have this really interesting itinerary called Undiscovered Great Lakes, which is Thunder Bay, Duluth, and the Apostle Islands. So another really great wilderness experience. Lots of hiking as well here. And we'll talk a little bit more about this one. But really, I have to say, the Apostle Island experience is really quite cool. And there's a lot of different unique ecosystems right in that area. And so you're really going to see some things that I honestly don't think you'll see anywhere else in the world. So this is what that map looks like and what that itinerary looks like. So first, why don't we just talk a little bit about some of the highlights. So we'll cruise on the Niagara and the Great Lakes itinerary through the Welland Canal, which is really cool. And it's a series of locks. The ship is actually built to be able to cruise through this. It's a man-made shipping channel that connects Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. So that's a real fun experience to go through that. And then what we'll do is head out to Niagara Falls. Not with our vessel, of course. You'll leave the ship and go experience Niagara Falls. But it's kind of neat. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's very touristy on the Canadian side, worse than the Jersey Shore. But the actual falls experience is definitely one of the natural wonders of the world. And so it's, of course, something that probably is likely on your bucket list. You'll be able to get up close to the Horseshoe Falls. And it's a neat, thrilling boat ride. Now we head to Mackinac Island. Oh, sorry, there's a great picture of it. But I've done this before. We head out into there. It's really fun. My husband and I and the kids have a great photo op that we took there. Now Mackinac Island is included on all of these itineraries, and it's a really cool island that there's no motor vehicles allowed. So basically, to get around, which is basically the link of Lake. It's on Lake Huron and Lake Michigan, but really it's all bicyclists, pedestrians, horse and carriage rides. You can even kayak if you'd like on the coastline of Mackinac Island. Very quaint and just absolutely such a fun historical, many historical sites, fun little area to walk around. There's a beautiful, elegant Grand Hotel there, which is of the Victorian era, and it has the world's longest porch. Then there's also that kayak experience that I was telling you about. Now, we head to the Apostle Islands, as I had mentioned on the one of our 8-day experiences. And really, truly, this is known for the stunning natural scenery. There's beautiful beaches. I believe there's even a sailing experience that you could do here, but there's also hiking and kayaking. There's 8 historic lighthouses, beautiful beaches, but the caved rock formations that we're seeing here, that you can kayak into it, these gorgeous sea caves. There are 21 islands and 12 miles of coastland that make up the Apostle Islands. And it's just absolutely stunning. You're going to love it. And we have a lot of different itinerary experiences. They're all included. Like I had said, sailing, hiking, kayaking. Now we also go to Michigan, and we go to Houghton, Michigan, which is basically 7,000 years of copper mining history. We'll do a really cool hike here. You'll actually you can do a mining experience, and you'll learn about Quincy Mine. And so that's really fun. There's tons of forests to hike, the Hungarian Falls. There's beautiful marshlands if you want to kayak. So again, if you love that like bird life, there's, you know, lots of opportunities to do some bird watching and all these outdoor experiences. Now, I had mentioned Georgian Bay for you. This is that itinerary where we have, it's on the Great Lakes Explorer, where we go to the 3 different areas of Georgian Bay. We'll spend 3 days here, and it's just absolutely so serene. There's beautiful pine trees, you know, flowing into the water, beautiful cliffs, endless beaches, clear blue water. It really is a one-of-a-kind destination. Here we'll do a lot of rich marine heritage. There's also lighthouses that dot the coastline here. It's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Biosphere Reserve site. It's referred to as the 6th Great Lake. It encompasses 30,000 different islands and more than 1,200 miles of shoreline. So you'll spend 3 days exploring Little Current, Killarney, Parry Sound of Georgian Bay. Tons of outdoor activities to choose from. You can hike the Cup and Saucer Trail. There's forests. There's kayaking, like I said, lots of wildlife watching. It's really, truly for the outdoor lover. So highly recommend that if you're into that. We have Thunder Bay, Ontario, where you'll basically relive the region's history of Fort William, an accurate recreation of an early 19th century fur trading post. So that's really what it's all about. There's also, the little thin pancakes that you can try here. We have a lot of hiking trails of Sleeping Giant Provincial Park. So that's a big piece of Thunder Bay. There's just beautiful, beautiful scenery. This picture depicts it perfectly. So you'll have a true opportunity to discover the falls here and this beautiful outdoor area. And then we have Point Pelee, Ontario. And this is the southernmost point of the Canadian mainland. And it really is a very important stopover point for migratory birds. So again, bird watching. Over 350 different types of species have been spotted here, and it's just absolutely great. So it kind of juts into the northwestern corner of Lake Erie. And we have canoe kayaking experience through the marshlands. I do believe we drop our submersible here, and we also have lots of zodiacs. So I showed you those ribs and those zodiacs. Picture on these Great Lakes experiences, picture that you are going to be utilizing that equipment, right? You're going to be going out onto the zodiac, and you're going to be exploring all these beautiful different areas on the zodiacs, on the ribs, with scientists. So I want to make sure I'm not remiss to really stress that point, guys, that I'll put myself back here on camera, that point that there is these scientists that are going to steer you through this experience and really share with you stuff that you would never know on your own. You'd have to do obviously a lot of research to know it. And that is that experience on board expedition, where you are really handheld and guided, and you're going to see things and hear about things that you've never heard before. So very, again, outdoorsy, but just a fun way to experience the lakes. So I wanted to, Christy, turn it back to you. But before I do, I just wanted to also mention our risk-free guarantee program.
Please do.
So as I had mentioned, Viking, we have great promotions right now. We have free air on expeditions. We have air about $2.99 on Mississippi. We have over $500 per person in cruise savings. So really great promotions. But moreover, we have our risk-free guarantee program, which basically means, folks, that you can cancel up to 24 hours prior to departure for any reason. It doesn't mean that you don't take insurance. You should always take insurance because you're going to need that while you're on your trip. God forbid something happens. But I will tell you, this risk-free guarantee program gives you the opportunity to cancel, and you'll get a future cruise voucher. Even if you want to just put a deposit down, the deposits are $500 per person, you can cancel for up to 121 days prior for getting a refund and paying a cancellation fee of $100, or getting the future cruise voucher for the amount that you paid Viking. And you can use that for 24 months to book another cruise. So essentially you can book something in 2024 or 2025. So I just want to assure you, if you liked anything you saw, if it's on your bucket list, put your name into the hat. Viking will sell out quickly, and we want to make sure you get to experience it. So anyhow, back to you, Christy.
Oh my gosh, so much to take in. I think the most important thing that anybody should kind of get your head around on this is that even though they're both these magnificent USA based itinerary. Oh, well, all of them. There's multiple ones in the Great Lakes and on the Mississippi, but they're so very different from one another, right? The Mississippi based ones are towns and cities, lots of regional cuisine, music, different flavors from everywhere, going through bourbon territory and all the way down to where you'd have a hurricane as you're walking around the streets of New Orleans. Lots of history, all that, but then the Great Lakes, because it's this expedition experience, it's wilderness, it's interacting with, all the wildlife up there. I mean, the birds alone on the Great Lakes are such a big deal. And the fact that there are associations with Cornell, the ornithologist groups, it really gives it such a totally different kind of experience where you can have this luxury cruise experience and all the wildlife and all the outdoor sports and that other part of you craves. So it really does cater to both. That kind of like, I want a spectacular vacation, but I also want to enjoy all that outdoor stuff. So very different kinds of vacations between the two of them. Top shelf service, like we said, with Viking, always to be expected. Great value for your vacation dollar, just really outstanding stuff. So thank you for going through all those great details and showing us all the cool shots of the insides of the ships. I know, they're going to be built soon, and so we're all eagerly anticipating their arrival.
Yes, me too. 2022. I can't wait. Yeah, thank you, Christy. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, I'm happy to. So for those of you who have registered tonight, I'll be extending my my discount opportunity. So on top of whatever active Viking promotion is valid for a cruise that you're interested in, because different cruises may have different promotions associated with them. I'll also offer you a booking discount, an incentive, if you will, for up to $250 if you book between now and the middle of November. So it's about a month. And of course, the most important step is to reach out to me. Give me a call, and you can always reach me by phone, by email. You can go on my website, or just connect with me through social media. There's a vacation out there with your name on it. You just have to pick up the phone and let's start talking about it, right? Know that, in this kind of uncertain world, working with an agent is now even more important than ever. There's always value in doing it, but now more than ever, just not only to kind of weave your way through the decision-making process so that it's personal for you and it suits your interests and it suits your budget and it does all the things that you want it to do. You also have an advocate in your corner. This way, if you have questions or things that you're unsure about, or you want to consider those policies like the Book with Confidence policy, you've got somebody in your corner to help you make the best decisions that's right for you and your family.
It's so true. It's so true. Those policies right now are in place to really make you feel comfortable and, making that commitment to the future travel that everybody right now, we're in this uncertainty. So we don't want you to feel afraid to book. We want you to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure that I don't wait, because if I
Right.
wait, it's not going to be there. But if I book now, I know it's going to be there, and you don't have to worry about anything. So it's so true. And a lot of the suppliers out there, as Christy admitted, a lot have this for you. And as Christy said, there is something waiting for you, and she'll match you to the best experience. And
That's right. I'm a matchmaker, baby. That's
you
what
are the matchmaker. But anyhow, I want to thank you all so much.
thank
And
you.
Christy, as always, it's been a pleasure.
And I will see you in a month when we do Christmas markets in Europe. I'm so excited.
Yes, yes. We'll have to do something fun and do
Yes, I feel festive.
some glühwein or something like that. We'll get prepared for that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. You guys have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yes, thanks. Bye, Christy. Bye.
Bye-bye.